And do you think men should see us
I
in
think
our natural
Fajas,
state before they get in a real relationship with us?
whenever I've heard a man say, let me see what you look like with no makeup. Let me see what you look like without the hair. I feel that that man is telling you that he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come over here thinking that I'm going to go to Sephora and get you some makeup. So I need to see you without all that because I want to strip you of all that because I ain't got it. When a man says that to you, he wants to strip you of everything. He doesn't want you to have the thought process of maintaining.
So I'm gonna say this: we just want to see what a woman looks like naturally. We don't want you to have all that makeup, filters, and extra cosmetics done. If you want it, we'll get you, but we want to see what you look like first, natural, so we can get an idea of what your base appearance will look like. Plus, we want you to keep your body upkeep, stay in shape, and stay natural as long as you can.
I think that shit was hilarious. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's saying that because a man want to see you out without your makeup on, that he's trying to strip everything for you. What is the mindset? Where does that start and where does that end? Like, yo, there's nothing wrong keeping yourself dolled up, but you can't go to sleep with that shit on. So yeah, granted, we enhancing the things that's already there when you're throwing your makeup on and all that stuff. Yeah, highlighters and all that. I don't know the names of all that stuff. When you step out looking like how you look. However, you can't go to sleep with that on. You're not wearing that all the time. I want to see how you look. You don't want the man to fall in love with how you look with all the aesthetics on, all the makeup on. You want the man to fall in love with you, how you look, the way you wake up in the morning. So that way you don't have to feel like, hey, I always got to have this on when I'm around him because I'm afraid to be myself. It's like a guy getting used to wearing a hat all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that hat off. You got to take that makeup off. You got to be comfortable with yourself around that man. That man want to fall in love with you. Stinky breath and all first thing in the morning. It's not a thing to tear you apart. Maybe that's a defense mechanism for her to try to hide behind that because deep down inside, she don't like the way she look without the makeup on. And I mean this respectfully because if you look at the video, I'm going to throw it in the clip. Yo, she got a lot of it on. Women be having so much makeup on, they face be one color and they neck be another. They just start getting hip to put the shit on their neck to blend it in all the way down to they fucking collarbone.
It's insecurity they have. They don't like their own self, so they have to use all these extra filters.
Yeah, the same thing. Like you just hit it right on the head. Like with the filters, this is no different than somebody taking a picture like this, holding a phone like this. Typically, and I'm married, but you meet the person in person, they got a funny shape.
Photoshop,
Yeah,
fake boobs, ass, all the above, just to attract something that they know is they're not going to be able to have that without money.
yeah. I just don't. The whole I think is a bit extra to say a man is trying to strip something away in the gaslight and make it seem like the man is up to something or the man is insecure because he want to see you as you. That's crazy.
Another thing she said about the money, oh, he can't afford me. No, we have the money. We just want you to show what you appear at first, and then as we go along, you can earn your keep, and then we'll say, okay, here you go, have some money. You can go get your nails done or your hair done. But we want to see the original you first before we invest, because ultimately you're an investment into our program.
Sorry about that. But you pointed out the money part. I'm gonna play it again because you hit on something. I kind of jumped over that a little bit because like it's not about makeup don't cost that much, baby. Like $30, $40, or let's say if you pay somebody to get the makeup done, $200-$300 if you're trying to be nice. Like by the time my daughter's 17 and she could do her own makeup. So it's not a big thing. It's one thing you learn to do. You know how to highlight your special features and for the lack of a better
Date before they get in a real relationship with us. Whenever I've heard a man say, let me see what you look like with no makeup. Let me see what you look like without the hair. I feel that that man is telling you that he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come.
So she trying to make it seem like that she's saying it in the sense of high maintenance. No, like we don't really give a fuck about your nails. None of that shit. Like
There
we
we
want
go.
you to look good when you come out, but we don't care. It's not a thing about If you can't take care of yourself, like that's on you.
It don't got nothing to do with
Yeah,
the
like
money.
that's on that. But I'm saying that's on you. Like that part is on you. What that has to do with us?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, cause
Because you don't love yourself, you can't put that on us and blame us and say, "Oh, you just insecure. You don't have the money to pay for it."
right,
No, that's just all that's doing is highlighting how you are is insecure.
that's definitely a gaslight.
The gaslight.
All right, so look, using that as a intro in this day and age, are you single?
Yeah.
How is the dating game right now for a single guy? God forbid,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Game is fucked up. Oh my God. It's just the whole thing is turned into a big hot mess. It's a global marketplace. The women believe they can get any man they want to that's way above their league. And most of the men on the bottom don't believe in themselves. They're stuck picking, for better words, through the trash, if I'm no disrespect.
Yeah.
But
So I met a young Asian dude at the gym, right? Same name, same everything. That's how we got cool dude. But he's sitting there talking. He started talking the pride stuff and all this stuff, and he just was regurgitating a bunch of fresh and fit stuff, right?
mhm.
And it was just so out of place. And it's like, like, how can I say this without being mean? Like, a lot of conversations ain't for everybody.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? And you would think like he had, a bunch of foreign cars parked out front and all this stuff and drove up a hill to his house with a mansion. You know what I'm saying? The way he was talking.
Man, all that shit doesn't mean anything.
But it's like, but you got guys out here just as well as you have women out here with these fucked up talking points and these crazy ideas of what a relationship is and where they stand in the relationship and what they expect from another person. You know what I'm saying? It's like this in a sense where you hear the women talking about when the women talking about they need a man to be ambitious, right? And
Mhm.
everything whatever it is he do, he need to either become the boss or own the company, right? Let's just say he's an electrician and he's been in the trade 20 years. He been up and down the ladder. He ran jobs for big companies. And now, he got to go to school, get his master's, because that's the only way he could pull permits to even run a company. And that's just being able to do the work. That's not even a business end of it, right? Everybody's not business savvy. And even if you start a business, that don't guarantee that your business going to flourish. You'll make more money in some cases, the majority of the cases, working for somebody than trying to start your own business. Just to say to a lady, your lady could say, hey, he got his own business. That's failing.
Yeah. But on another note, if a woman wants a man that has those personality attributes, you're gonna have to follow his program and follow his lead.
No,
You can't get beside him and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be the leader too," because it's not going to work. You got to follow his program. It's gonna get rid of you. If you want to be a boss, it can only be one boss. It ain't two bosses. You got to follow one boss.
But see, but realistically, any relationship is give and take, and you're gonna battle back and forth. You know what I'm saying? To get to where y'all got understanding, and this is how it's gonna work. Because like, unless I think one of the problems is with that is unless you come in the door talking like that and you leading like that, if you get with a lady, then try to impose I'm the boss and you this and this is where you
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not gonna work because
That's
you
why
got
you
to
gotta lay
it's
down
debate
the
and switch.
foundation at the
Yeah,
very beginning.
Exactly.
But
And if it don't work
ultimately,
out with that person, go ahead.
that's what almost every woman wants to be a feminine woman. They want a man they can follow and trust and be safe around. They don't want it. They don't really want to be the leader. They want to follow a man that's going to take care of everything and set the direction.
So do you think femininity come with a cost in a sense? Because like a lot of women that say, yeah, but if you do this and if you could do that, I'll be feminine. But if you can't do that, I'm not being feminine in a sense. But masculinity don't come with a cost. This is a natural thing. We have to. You know
We
what I'm
have to
saying?
always be masculine. We don't have a choice.
You see what I'm saying?
See, I feel like with the women now, they've come up with this new term, conditional femininity.
Hmm.
I think that's a bunch of bullshit because a man can't just say, "Oh, well, I don't feel like being a man today." As
Right.
a woman, she's supposed to in theory, always be a woman, but they only turn that on for certain men that they see as valuable and worthy.
So femininity do come at a cost.
I would say so.
Hmm.
Apparently, from what we're seeing, because
It's true though.
of
Like it
certain
don't
men,
matter.
they
Yeah.
won't listen to anything they say. They'll boss them around. But when another strong man comes around and he's the guy, quote unquote, she's going to submit to his program.
Do you think a lot of it, like coming in the door, is because niggas just be wanting the box? You know what I mean? So the niggas
Mostly.
say everything they think the woman want to hear. You know what I'm saying, to have sex with them, but in reality, they don't mean none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then they kind of ultimately get in a position where she kind of thinks she got, not necessarily, I ain't gonna say she had the leverage, because leverage can, like the term leverage, it can swing either way. You see what I'm saying? But like they feel like nah, I got you wrapped around my finger because you know you've been
Mhm.
this and that and you know talking sweet to me because you want something from me
Yeah,
that
they
I
want
got to
something.
give.
See,
And like that sets the tone for the relationship.
yeah,
But if you got discipline and you lead as a man and you ain't pressed, like that's more of a turn on.
that's
anything else, and
that's
then you
very
can
rare though. We got a small percentage of men that are like that.
I think it's different for older men, but
Yeah.
younger men, you know, you leading with your dick. You know what I mean? That's
especially
just the way you wired.
especially like they're like in their late teens, early 20s,
Mhm.
just getting out of college. They're going to be chasing ass all day long because they don't have no experience. But
Thus,
the men get
humanity.
older, they start to realize their own value and say, wait a minute, she don't have the power. Really, I have the power because I can control my urges and have discipline over my own body. I'm gonna say this is gonna go how I want it to go and flow in a way that works for the best of us instead of just chasing one person
Yeah.
and losing your and getting put in a bad vantage point.
Well, let's do. I'm gonna do the devil's advocate because there's nobody here to really represent the women's position. But I'm gonna do it like this. How about if it was your daughter, and you know you raise your daughter up to be a certain type of way because you're a dad. You know you want her to ultimately get married and all that, but you don't want nobody to walk all over her. Where's the balance there? You know what I'm saying? This like for the woman, like just turning the tables a little bit. Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because with a lot of women nowadays, they feel like they've been emancipated in a sense
Yeah,
from how things were. But us as I'm gonna just say I'm men in general, but black men in particular, our foot was never on our women's neck, never. So it was never a thing where we needed or they needed liberation from us. You see what I'm saying? But now women are being liberated from like something that we never did. So
Well,
like
would
when
they
it
feel
boils
like
down to like the leadership
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
headbutt.
they feel oppressed, like we did something to them, or they don't want to follow our instructions. But what we can do is we can give each other feedback and guidance. It doesn't have to be a It don't have to be a tyranny
Right,
where somebody is just putting a foot on somebody's neck.
right.
But they don't see it that way. They think it's one person is all in power. It's not that way.
Right. But do you think it's like based on stories that they heard from their grandma about granddaddy being away and cheating on her, having a family around the corner, and then they all meet at his funeral? Or, you know, it's whatever he say. Now he could be a dickhead. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He's the sole provider. And mom, you know, they break up and now she ain't working 20 years. Now she gotta go back out in the job market because she put her trust in this dude and he fucked her over.
I
You know what I
believe
mean?
so, and most of these women
And
that
that's the
was
argument that a
hurt in
lot
the
of women make.
past,
Yeah, or it's not necessarily them, it's their grandma. It's stories they heard.
yeah,
Not necessarily because they'll bring that up like they lived through it.
they'll teach their daughters and their granddaughters that
Mm-hmm.
from a very young age, and that's spoiling their mindset. And it's messing up the relationships with men as they grow up,
Mm-hmm.
sabotaging it.
So what do you think? All right, so what about all right, so we talked about prize, leverage, and stuff like that. Um, based on stemming off the conversation we originally had about the women talking about the makeup and you can't afford me, right? But what about people in regular relationships? What about them? Because like in that dynamic is different, and that's the majority of people. A lot of us be in these conversations that don't have nothing to do with us because their money here and our money here, and we be trying to be in a conversation and fit those living arrangements into our basic for the lack of a better term, 100, I don't like saying 50-50 situations, but where people working together, paying bills together, and we still try to, and to a certain degree, some men put their foot on women's neck, and it's like it's not working,
Yeah,
or
but
vice versa,
See,
or
yeah.
women doing the same thing to dudes.
See, what thing is, like I said, ain't supposed to. Nobody's supposed to be putting a foot on nobody's neck. Y'all
Yeah.
supposed to come together and agree and work as a team. See, that's the problem. We don't have any more teamwork today.
Yeah,
In today's society, relationships, everybody is. It's all about me. Me. It's selfishness.
hmm
That's why there's so many people that's single because they think they're above everybody. When really, y'all supposed to come together and agree and say, let's work this out. Okay, you make this much money, I make this much money. Let's make a plan. But
well, like that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing. And then women and men bring unrealistic expectations to the relationship in a sense because sometimes, all he is going to do is be the plumber. All he going to be is the mechanic. He's not going to be the business owner. You know what I'm saying? That's
not
the same
everybody,
woman.
not everybody's going to make
Yeah,
$500,000
exactly.
a
And
year.
some of these women can't even boil water, let alone cook.
Or cook.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like and some guys expect a woman to take care of the kids, cook, clean, and suck and fuck. It's not going to happen.
Without doing anything.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
sitting in the house.
Yeah, but yeah,
Not
exactly.
bringing no money in.
But it's something that's working, and guys still had that same expectation, which is unrealistic too. You know what I'm saying? Because she is tired. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like it got to be a balance.
You got to be like you said, realistic about
Mhm.
it. You can't have it, you got to be in tune with reality.
I agree.
Stop expecting things that are outlandish. Like every woman wants a millionaire. You're not going to get one. There's
Mhm.
only a small percentage of men
Yeah,
that are ever going to get to that level
Yeah.
of money.
and everybody's not going to be a business owner. You know what I mean? So like that's just the reality of it. I mean, good luck trying to find this business owner. And then is what you said originally when people be wanting stuff that's out of their league. It's like men understand when a woman is out of their league, but women to a certain degree don't understand when a man is out of their league because you look at him and we know how men are wired. Coming in the door, he's not even gonna make eye contact with you. You know what I'm saying? And you're out of his league.
But
So
problem with a lot of men too is they don't want to put the work in. They
Yes.
just expect things to be handed to them. And
yeah.
you as a man, you gotta bust your ass from day one
Mm-hmm.
all the way to the end. You cannot stop. If you get lazy and complacent, well, you can't complain about your results. You're
Yeah.
just gonna be miserable.
Yeah. Or like you might, but to that, like sometimes, you just might be the mechanic.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, so for instance, right, what's wrong? They can say it's basic, right? And that might be the term for it, right? But
Mhm.
what's wrong with working, buying a home, saving some money, doing vacations and stuff, and living within your means? You see what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but like at least your home. See, the other side of that is this, right? When you get the guy who's making all this money, that requires time and dedication. Everything you just said, putting the work in, that means he's gone the majority of the time. He's on business trips.
70, 80
Yeah,
hours
that's
a
what I'm
week.
saying. You don't see him. He missed the recital because
Yeah.
he made the money so you could go to a certain school, and your wife could live in a certain house. Now you don't see him. The kids start to resent him. Then all the stuff that he allotted them by by making this money, meaning they go to the private schools where they have
Yeah.
recitals. He missed the soccer game. He missed lacrosse practice. He missed
He
all these
starts getting
things.
bad
Yeah,
mouth. There's a
yeah,
bad
exactly.
man
Now everybody hate him for all the work he put in to give him the lifestyle that
that
their
they
mom
got.
wanted
Yeah.
in order to even start a family with him.
Get no appreciation.
Yeah, but when
Nothing.
you go to work, you do your 60, 65 hours a week, 40 hours, whatever the case may be, but you make decent money. It's average, above average. Let's say a little above average, whatever. You got a nice home, you live in the middle class, backyard, do cookouts, whatever. But you get to live a little bit.
Yeah.
You get to go fishing. You get to
can
sit down and help your
you
kids
can
with the
enjoy your
homework.
life and go travel and go
Yeah.
take your
Yeah.
kids to Disneyland.
And it's,
you know
let's
what
say
I'm
both of
saying?
y'all work or whatever, but just one of your incomes could pay all the bills. That means you got a whole extra set of money that you could just save or invest or whatever you want, or pay for the kids' school, whatever. But you're there.
Yeah.
So what's more important in life? So like that's what I mean. Men are not. I don't want to be nobody's tool. And what I mean by is like I just do all this work while everybody sit back or don't do nothing. And then when I'm broke, I'm done. You see what I'm saying? My
Everybody
whole
just
life,
leaves and vanishes.
yeah, but my whole life is just made to just keep on working, talking this, fulfill this bullshit that people made up in their mind what I should be, and I just don't get to live. I don't ever get to stop the smell of roses because nothing's good enough.
It's never good enough. You can't live like that because it's some people are going to always set the bar higher and higher and higher.
Yeah,
But you got to understand, like, just have a normal standard of living. You don't want to
yeah,
live above your means because then you're going to run out of money. You're never going to be able to please the person who wants more and more and more money.
right.
They're a liability.
That brings me back to my original question that I asked you: how is it dating out here with all that out here? And with the 50-50 and a guy got to have a business and this, that, and the third, this the date, this to get in the door to get a decent looking woman.
It's the unrealistic expectations and
Do
standards.
you run into that a lot?
A lot. Let's say I feel like Instagram, social media is really fucked that shit up because
Yeah.
they'll see a lot of men with cars and yachts and mansions and
Mhm.
they partying on boats, and that's not the normal man.
Yeah.
You see all these guys that are super duper jacked and lean. And most of that's drugs. That's not realistic.
Right.
The average Joe is not going to look like that you see on the street or the
Yeah.
regular gym. But when they see that online on the phone, they're like, "Well, that's what I want, and I'm not going to settle for less." And at that point, you're stuck. You're not going to get that. If you keep trying, you're going to get stuck.
And to your point though, like with the internet, Instagram, all the social media sites, you get a peek inside of people's lives that we would never in 20 years ago, we would never thought we would see inside their house unless it was a show called Cribs where they actually walked us
Mhm.
through. Now we get to see people everyday living when they decide to buy a new car, when they decide to buy a new house, when they decide to go on trips. We get to see what everybody's doing. That's a few levels above everybody to as though they got this income where they could do things like that. And we say, you know what, we want to be this.
Or
And it's
millionaires.
almost
Like
it's
not
like the
everybody can
Hunger
be a
Games.
millionaire.
And the other side of that is too,
It's never been that way.
yeah. But the other side is too, for women, the internet has made the world smaller. So in men, now you got dudes that a chick you would never ever run across, they in the inbox. You know, they might when it first started, you get a reply or somebody say no thank you. Now they'll let you sit
Now
there.
it's
You know what I'm
so
saying?
many men in these women's inboxes. It's like you gotta separate yourself
Yeah.
somehow. They got millions of men trying to get the same girl, and they're like, "We don't want you because we got all these options." It's like if you get told you're beautiful every day, you're gorgeous, you gonna start hating that shit. You be like, "Stop telling me that. I hear it all the time."
Yeah, and then in all fairness, when it comes to that, it all depends who's saying it too.
Yeah, it depends too.
If it's a dude
Like,
they interested in, they
let's say somebody with a high status, like a Drake or something, hollers at the girl. The status gonna get him through the door
mm-hmm.
before you do.
So ultimately, those social media sites, when you really think about it, when you think about everything you see, they basically dating sites. You know, I mean, like
Pretty much just
I mean,
open market.
we do the fitness shit. We got the podcast thing, but other than that,
Yeah.
like you don't see me taking pictures, posing. You know what I mean? Showing
It's
like,
like-
look, standing behind the car. In
It's
front
like
of,
with
you
the
know what I mean?
Instagram and the blue check mark. It's like if you don't got a blue check mark, there's like you're nobody.
Yeah, but you could buy
It's
that
like,
now.
you can buy that.
That's goofy.
But everything is based off of followers and views and likes, and that's bullshit.
Mhm.
Because you got some of the dudes you got like world's strongest men. He got an amazing physique, but he don't got no followers. And I'm
Mhm.
like, how is that possible? He got great content on his page, and then you got other people that are famous, quote unquote. They
Mm-hmm.
got blue check mark, 5 million followers. But if you want to compare the two, I would say the other guy should be on the same level
Mm-hmm.
or higher, but he don't have no popularity.